thank you for this wonderful evening, second education conclave of business world. I was there last year and they wanted me to be here this year as well, but because of some constraints, there were lots of meetings and I was not able to make it in the morning. Even now, there is a lot of work pending in the AICTE office, and tomorrow I have to leave for Bangalore in the morning, and therefore I have hardly any time. I would just like to speak only a couple of sentences. I'm sure that the deliberations during this conclave has been useful. The last 3-4 minutes that I was listening to Professor Premvrat rightly pointed out about our educational institutions. They were there in the past. I think we have to take a lesson from the past and try to improve upon that and try to challenge the world in terms of global rankings. But as far as Government of India is concerned, at least for management education, we are all aware of the new IIM bill, which gives a lot of autonomy to these institutions, and they can start giving degrees instead of the earlier postgraduate diploma of management which they were giving. On the similar lines, AICTE had instituted a committee for giving more autonomy. All the postgraduate diploma management institutions, which are standalone institutions, are not controlled by UGC, not by state government. They only take approval from AICTE, and in a way they are already autonomous. So one of the things which is important for excellence is to have autonomy, and that autonomy already in a way exists. We wanted to strengthen that autonomy for at least well-performing institutions, and that's why there was a committee set up. The recommendations of that have been placed in the executive committee, and we will soon be releasing what is the content of that. What I would like to state is some of those which have been accredited by National Board of Accreditation with higher score, they should get 100% autonomy in terms of all their facets, whether it is in terms of charging the fees, whether it is in terms of the curriculum, whether it is in terms of hiring of faculty. I think there will be no restrictions. Not only that, there will be multiple years of approval. You don't have to come for getting approval on an annual basis, which has been the case right now. So category 1 institutions will get all that freedom. There will be a second category of institutions which are as good, but they have not touched the highest level of excellence. And for them, there will be certainly more autonomy, but less compared to the category 1 institutions. And we would like to mentor them in order to make them also reach the category 1 level. And there are third category of institutions who are struggling. We would like to also handhold, mentor them, but they will have a lot of restrictions imposed upon them. This is a philosophy which has been adopted, and very soon you will be listening to that. As far as management education is concerned, we always talk about VUCA world. This is a very common principle which is being talked about. And in today's world, we see whether it is economy of this country or anywhere, this is very much true. And that's why our education has to be absolutely practical oriented, not just theoretical oriented, and therefore lots of case study based education, which is important in management, has to be there. But we find that most of the case studies are taken from Harvard Business School, Harvard Review, but not Indian case studies are created. So when our students, most of them are going to work in our Indian corporations within the country, they need to understand nuances of Indian case studies. So I think there must be more emphasis on producing Indian case studies, may have to have a journal for that, may have to have a book published on that, and I'm sure that that should become part of the curriculum. This is one of the needs. Last but not the least, number of jobs in the large companies, corporations, multinationals is all getting reduced. And therefore, emphasis on entrepreneurship and startups is going to be the key thing. And management institutions being ones who will be knowing the nuances of business, I think they have a great role to play, not only for the students of their own institutions in order to become startups and produce startups, but also have collaboration with engineering and science colleges as well, so that students from that institution are also supported in terms of creating entrepreneurial ecosystem in this country, and that's a very important thing. Last but not the least, the Smart India Hackathon 2017 was a roaring success. 2018 Smart India Hackathon is on the cards, will be held on 30th and 31st of March. And some of you should take a case study of Smart India Hackathon. It is one of the largest hackathons in the world. I think we must look at how it is happening, how students who participate in that can be channeled in becoming a startup subsequently. And I think there is a great role for all the management schools. I'm sure deliberations here will help all of you in reaching the higher heights and creating employment and also startups. Thank you very much.